It's nice to meet everybody.
Yes, nice to meet you.
I'm in New York State. Oh, wait a minute. I could be wrong. We could be wrong. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, the Wi-Fi is a little slow in the office here.
Okay. Wait. So who are you?
Oh, I am not John Gamache. I am Hannah Garfield.
Anna. All right. Well, let's change that. Or can I do that? And you can put it back. Oh, there you go. Very good. You're on top of it.
She is always.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's a great experience for people watching all the time, although I think on YouTube it's very simple. But I really enjoy these more social ones. I feel like I'm hanging out with smart folks and artistic folks, and so I'm only glad to have everybody on and representing all the different categories of film programming at the Woods Hole Film Festival, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I wanted to do, which I neglected to do, and it will be all over the accompanying text and promotional language, but somebody just remind me the exact dates. Actually, it's on my calendar, so actually I don't even need that help. The Woods Hole starts a Saturday. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday the 31st, right?
Yep, and runs through Saturday, August 7th. So it's Saturday to Saturday.
Okay, thank you. All right, so oops. Wait a minute, I lost Jane. Did I lose Jane?
It looks like she's frozen.
Oh, there she is. Okay. Things will happen. Of course, having multiple people also just increases the opportunity for little glitches. So that's okay. We'll muster our way through, if that's the right word. Where did John? It's okay. Should we wait for John? Well, let's start. Let me go around. I'll ask you each individually just what your area of programming is. We'll start there, and then we'll ask you to, without cheating, mention every film in your category, every filmmaker, editor, camera persons, etc. No, I won't do that. But Sean, why don't you start?
Oh, well, perfect. Well, hi. It's nice to see everyone, Woods Hole friends, and I'm excited to see you in person so soon. My name is Sean Volk, and I am an associate programmer with Woods Hole. And this year, I worked primarily with narrative features. So we've got a really exciting array of independent feature-length films that I know our audiences are just going to love.
I don't doubt it. They look great, by the way. I've been going through them, and I was asked to come up with some that I would, for links, I guess, or get a little advanced view at some of them, in order to potentially even invite some of the filmmakers on, et cetera. But I'm like, I don't know where to begin. Maybe you can help a little later on in this conversation. And then, okay, and then Hannah, what's your category?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Hannah. So I am the submissions coordinator, and then I also am a shorts programmer. So I kind of manage and oversee the whole kind of submissions process, the whole programming process, and then help a little bit with the features, but mainly focus on doing the shorts.
Right. It sounds like there's a little bit always of helping wherever you have to, or wherever there's needed. Right. I mean, yes. in a festival, that's really crucial because you don't have usually multitudes of employees working there.
It's a very small team.
Yeah. Is this actually, by the way, we'll get to Jane and John, but is this the 30th festival?
It is.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And was last year, did you actually have a festival?
Yeah. So last year we did a completely virtual festival.
Okay.
So we've been going for 30 since 1991. Every single year there's been a Woods Hole Film Festival. It's older than me.
Most of us. Right, guys?
Not me.
All right. Well, John, since you chimed in, what's your spot? What's at the festival? What is it?
Yeah, so I'm the associate director of the festival, which means I do a lot of other things. But the last couple of years, I've gotten more involved in the programming end of the festival, specifically with shorts. So Hannah and I have been working together to put the shorts programs together. I would say she does the bulk of the work, but I chip in where I can.
Sure. Right. I mean, I can only imagine, just since you brought it up, how many, between the two of you, how many shorts were submitted last year?
We had a total of, I think it was 456 shorts, I believe. Maybe a little bit more. We had about 792 official submissions, if I remember correctly. So about probably somewhere in the 450 to 500 is about how many shorts we got submitted.
That is that's not untypical. I mean, a lot of those people are often first time, second time filmmakers, submitting their first films to festivals. So a festival like Woods Hole is a great opportunity for, young filmmakers, young in the sense of being a filmmaker, not of necessarily being over 31. And Jane, I already know you're a documentary programmer because we settled that before we started recording. But go ahead if you have a.
Well, I live in Durango, Colorado, and I just have for years now worked remotely. So this past year wasn't too new to me in terms of staying home and watching films from other festivals. And documentaries are my favorite doc features. And we do have, the stuff that we couldn't include was good too. So we have how many doc features are in the program this year?
30.
30? Yeah. And there's something for everyone. So I too can't wait. This will be my first back to in-person festival since last March. So I know, can't wait to see y'all in person.
Oh man, so you, John, I assume you're in Woods Hole. Do you live near in the Cape, or do you live near there, or?
No, I actually live in Norway. And I'm currently.
Is that a town in Massachusetts that I've never heard of?
No, that's Norwood. This is Norway.
Norfolk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I live in Norway for the year. I come back to Woods Hole when we have a live festival, which is every year except last year. Before the festival.
I did notice there are quite a few Scandinavian filmmakers in the festival, by the way.
Is
that a coincidence? I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I'm making
there's
stuff
two, but no,
okay.
I don't have any influence over that really.
All right.
I'm on the west coast of Norway. Somewhere I don't even know where I am right now. We're on a road that kind of winds down the coast. But so I do the bulk of my work throughout the year from wherever I am, and then come to the festival.
Can you say something in Norwegian for us, just so we don't?
Nei.
Okay. Well, this has been great. Thank you, everybody. No. Does anybody know the name Matthew Barton?
Yep.
Huh?
Yes, I do.
You would know because John, have you been with the festival since the beginning then?
Oh no,
okay.
I am that old, but no, this is my 7th festival.
Okay.
Woods Hole. But yes, I do know Matt.
Okay, because Matt is my childhood friend.
Oh.
And he and I grew up together in the same area, same town, and would leave school for lunch and walk over to his parents' house and have lunch every day in grammar school in 5th grade,
nice
6th grade. Yeah. But so Matthew, when I left New York City last summer, I had to get rid of a bunch of furniture, and Matthew drove from Cape Cod all the way to New York City and picked up a dining room table. And we hadn't seen each other in 30, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
He seems like that kind of a guy. So.
A lovely guy. And he, I know he's watching. And then he brought 2 lobster rolls with him. And when I was just going to end it here, and I will go right back to Woods Hole, but I was able, my last meal in New York City, I had a lobster roll from Cape Cod. And then my first meal in my new apartment here in the Hudson Valley where I live, it was a lobster roll. because he brought two of them, and anyway. But Matthew works with projection and that kind of thing for the festival. That's why I believe so.
Yeah, he helps us out with our screenings in Redfield Auditorium. Yeah, and he's an invaluable resource for us since before I've been with the festival. So.
This had to be a challenging year for everybody, though, regardless, because the bulk of the programming work is the year leading up to the festival. It's not like the 90% of your work is as a programmer, right, is done way before the festival. You've got to have everything kind of figured out. I'm sure there's lots of last minute switches or problems, and then you got to find another film or whatever, but in general. So what was this last year like? Jane, you already said that the bulk of maybe of your homework this last year was done from home, or maybe virtual festivals that you saw, right?
Yeah, in fact, I was able to attend virtually several film fests that I never had gotten to before, like Doc NYC.
Me too. Yeah.
AFI Docs, Hot Docs in Toronto. So it was bagging a lot of couch time, that was for sure. I'm about to go see today the new Anthony Bourdain film at an actual movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
With some girlfriends. So I'm really excited I hope that I can stand sitting in those theater seats. I got kind of used to being ultra comfortable at home. So we'll see.
Well, I went to my first movie theater in LA a few weeks ago with kids, and it was great. I hadn't been to a movie in a year. I know inherently in short programming, that's all done typically, right? Unless you're going to, I shouldn't say that, because you go to festivals throughout the year, so you would see shorts at some festivals potentially, but a lot of them are done over like an online tool, right? Database type of tool for seeing a lot of shorts, right? Or is that still has much changed from programming shorts this last year?
No, not really. We get our submissions through Film Freeway, so they get submitted on there. And then we have a screening committee, so we have volunteers that will also watch films for us and help us make our decisions to get more opinions.
They filter out, right?
Yeah. So that's always been done remotely. So I communicate with them via email. We have a platform that they all get watched on and reviewed on. So I get everybody set up, I give them their films to watch, and then they send in their reviews, and then that helps us determine, what are John and I going to be watching, what needs, more watches, what's really good. That's how we do a lot of our programming, has always kind of been done remotely.
Yeah. And Sean, I was going to ask you about, what was I going to ask you? I had a question already. Sorry. Now I have to edit. What was I going to ask you? Oh, damn it. How are you doing? Is that a fake back? By the way, is that a fake background, or are you in the theater?
No, so I live. I
know. I remember now. But go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's so nice seeing everyone because, with the show that we're doing, you've managed to get 4 people from 4 different states and time zones and even different countries, like all together at one time. So it is nice seeing everyone.
It's shocking. And I didn't realize that because I didn't know John was in Norway, because I would have definitely have brought it up. Like, I want to make this a convenient time, and I hope it's probably 7 or 8 o'clock or something. No, what time is it in Norway? Oh, you're muted, sir.
It's about 8:45 right now, but I'm above the polar circle, so it doesn't really get dark at this point. Anyway,
white nights. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no. So I was going to say I'm based in Fargo, North Dakota, and my full-time year-round job that I do is I'm the development and engagement manager at the Fargo Theater. So I'm in Theater 2 at the Fargo Theater, where we're opening Roadrunner today. So we're excited. To have people coming in too. But
oh wow. Well,
yeah, so this has been exciting for me. It's weird though, because I joined the team last year, and I've gotten to know everyone virtually, but this is my second year, but it's my first year actually meeting everyone in person. So it's weird to think that I'll be seeing all these people in real life, but that
Yeah.
You know, I already know them so well. So it'll be
yeah.
cool to kind of have that experience in Massachusetts.
Well, if you see a guy, middle-aged guy with facial hair running towards you with open arms, you don't be too alarmed. It's probably me. But I'm hoping to get up there. I can't be sure, but I know I'm going to go visit Matt at some point, my friend in Matt. But I wanted to come in person to the Woods Hole because it's a festival I've been aware of for a long time. I was going to ask. For one thing, Morgan Neville, who directed Roadrunner, because it keeps coming up, is on today's show, my show. So
nice.
It's his fifth visit to my show.
Awesome.
And I got him with 20 Feet from Stardom the first time, which, wasn't out yet when I talked to him the first time. But fortunately, I had the good sense to think this could be a good one. And I reached out and I got him on my show. And then, of course, that became an enormous Oscar-winning success. So we've hit it off, and he's come on with almost every film since.
Wow. So
I can tell you that you're going to have a great time today. It's a beautiful story. It's very emotional, and it's I'll be interested to know what you think, but enjoy seeing that.
So we had Morgan Neville as our tributee a couple years ago.
Oh,
before Won't You Be My Neighbor comes out, came to Port Townsend, had the best time, and wrote the most wonderful things about Port Townsend Film Fest. So I've been a fan for years and years, and that was probably my most exciting chore, getting him to the festival. It was great.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. If you get a chance, you could after the festival's over, of course, because I know you're busy, but maybe seek out some of our conversations, and certainly today's after you watch the movie or whenever, because that one's on YouTube, but most of them are on an audio podcast. But okay, so Sean, the question I was going to ask you before is, what's the commitment to the local scene as far as filmmakers or films shot in and around Cape Cod or Massachusetts, the Boston area? Is that a thing?
We definitely have a feature or two that were filmed locally, and there is a local presence. But one of the things that I think is also very exciting is we do have international features and then independent filmmaking from across the US as well. So we have a really exciting blend of stories in the narrative category, from comedies to intense dramas and movies that'll make you think and laugh, and even a really joyous musical. So there's so much that people can come and watch and enjoy.
I caught the trailer for the one you just mentioned. I was very curious about the musical because I think it's stars the actress who's the lead role in it, who also directed it. Right? Didn't she?
Oh,
am I mistaken?
Best Summer Ever.
I'm not sure if the director starred in it. I don't think so.
Okay.
Are you thinking of the Daphne Project?
No, but I make mistakes all the time, so don't worry about it. I could have completely made it up and not conflated two films. So, but anyway, I just seemed like there might have been some Massachusetts films, and I didn't know if that was part of like the film festival. Like a lot of regional film festivals, do try to incorporate local filmmakers to a certain percentage or a certain, I didn't know if that was part of Woods Hole's mission or what have you. So
we love having local filmmakers, and we definitely make a big effort to make sure we have a local presence in our programming. But I think our main commitment is to really trying to get young, up and coming, new filmmakers is really one of our biggest commitments. Is people who are making their first, second, third films, either first feature, and done a lot of shorts before, but this is by coming back to a lot of times we've actually had people who have done multiple shorts with us and then come back with their first feature, which is always really exciting. So
right, of course, it's a great way to create a community around the festival. I totally understand that. You're right, exactly, that's the thing. So how many shorts did you say you were show? Don't think I asked. How many shorts are in the program?
We have 104 shorts in the program.
Divided into what's half a dozen blocks or something, or?
Yeah, so we have, so just based off of how things worked with, our capabilities for in-person screening. So all our shorts are available, and I think there's 18 or 19 virtual shorts blocks. And then we have 7 in-person shorts blocks with a lot of our shorts are playing in front of features. So that was, a fun challenge for this year. John and I spent a lot of time talking about shorts blocks and trying to figure out, how to get as many in person as we could. Obviously, not everything is able to be in person this year due to the pandemic. But everything's available virtually. And then about probably 3/4 of our film, 2/3, 3/4, somewhere in that range, we were able to get in-person screenings as well.
Yeah. Or is it, John, do you find that a lot of short filmmakers really make an attempt to be there in person?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times the short filmmakers that kind of show up with the biggest presence.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we have a really good group of filmmakers that come every year. We usually have between 120 and 150 filmmakers that come to the festival, and a good huge percentage of those are the short filmmakers. And a lot of them tend to stay the entire week, even though the film is showing.
Hey, listen, if they don't mind sand in the shorts and what have you, why not? Or they're just sort of sleeping on the beach, I assume.
Most people don't. No, we try to take good care of everybody, but
I know.
Yeah, no, I mean it's you think about it too. I mean, they a lot of times made a film that's 6 minutes long, and they come and they travel and they spend an entire week at a festival to be there to watch their film screen in front of an audience for 6 minutes, and I think that's kind of cool.
I do too. But then again, often shorts are being made, I'm generalizing, but a lot of the times shorts are young filmmakers, right? They're making some of their first efforts. And so not always, so they're very motivated and excited to meet audiences and have that experience, which, was what film festivals are all about. I mean, they are for everybody involved in a film festival, but it's great that people. How do you guys get people to come out? How far out into Woods Hole? Is that the end of the island? Is it how far close to Provincetown, for instance? That was just a general question. I should have probably asked somebody in particular, right?
Hannah's the resident Cape Codder, but we're not too far from the bridge to get on the Cape, so.
Oh, okay.
It's fairly, accessible, and everybody over the bridge is a big mental challenge for a lot of people to do. But we are pretty close to, off Cape, so that's pretty easy. But no, it's a tourist destination, so a lot of our audience comes from not just other parts of Massachusetts, but around the U.S. We got a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of people who are, the snowbirds, as they say, who live in Florida for the winter, will come up back to the Cape for the summer, and a lot of people, not just filmmakers, but just people in general plan their vacations around when the festival is going to be. So the village really kind of explodes, during the week of the festival.
Could you you really couldn't do the festival any other time of year to maximize audience, right? Like the summer is such a makes sense.
Right. It's, we get asked this a lot, if we're going to, be great if you could be a different time of year for some people. But I think part of the magic of Woods Hole is having it in the summer, because that's the time to be really on the Cape for a lot of people. And when there's a crowd there, and when you can go to the beach, and when you can do all those things, and the restaurants are bustling and all that stuff. So, I think we're part of the summer atmosphere of the Cape, and I think that's the way it should be. Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Is there a proper opening night? I was trying to disseminate that. Like, is there a proper opening and closing night films, or do you have I know there's a number of things programmed that first day and the last day I saw in the evenings. Let's go to Jane.
Well, I know that Lily Topples the World is playing on the last night. I don't
Right.
know if it's designated as the closing night film. Hannah would maybe be able to answer that, but
That's my friend Jeremy Workman's film.
totally, he's going to be there, and Lily and her father. And it's just a terrific crowd pleasing story and very beautiful to see also cinematically. So that's a terrific one to recommend.
Yeah, we don't typically kind of designate, our opening film or our closing film. We kind of, we have, our opening day, and we have, this programming that's on our opening day and the programming that's on our closing day, which includes Lily Topples the World, Jane's favorite. But, we don't typically kind of designate this is our one like big opening film, but.
Mm-hmm. I know it's much more. It seems a bit more democratic. I like that. Mm-hmm. This is not a festival which is interested in necessarily premiering films. You're all about just getting the best films you can program every year and sharing them with folks, and hopefully turning them on to independent films and festival films and that type of thing. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I like to say, we're not a red carpet, velvet rope kind of festival. And, we were talking about short films earlier, and it is a lot of times it's new filmmakers, but like this year we have a short film from, Kate Davis and David Heilbronner, who are Academy Award nominees,
Sure.
and they're in a block with some brand new filmmakers too. So we kind of mix everybody together, and it's just 8 solid days of, emerging filmmakers, established filmmakers, and people who love film, all just watching films and hanging out. And like I said, it's a very kind of democratic process. We don't really want anybody to kind of suck all the oxygen out of the room anywhere they go and have a new filmmaker come and kind of get lost or overlooked. So everybody kind of gets the same treatment. From us. That's not a right or wrong way to do it. It's just the way we like to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, same is essentially true for my guests. No, but I mean, I'll bring on people from larger festivals or smaller festivals. To me, I don't care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for the underdog typically anyway. Otherwise I would be doing a show with a red carpet myself.
You mean I'm not getting top billing on this?
You are now. Yes, you are.
Well, it's great that Morgan Neville is opening for us today. So that's good.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to post. Yeah. But Morgan, But he's also done. John, you have to come back on another 4 times. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's up to you. But
yeah. When are you?
You want ratings?
When are you flying in?
I'll be there on the 21st.
Okay. So. Good. They're well ahead of the festival.
Yeah, typically a little bit more ahead, but this year with everything going on, it's just it's working out this way. So we get a lot done no matter where we are in the world. So it's kind of the beauty of the ability to do it this way. And we could even have a festival last year, and I think a really good festival. And everybody's very comfortable. Obviously, Sean and Jane have been working remotely for a while, and it's not even something we look at as a challenge necessarily anymore. It actually kind of helps us in a lot of ways to kind of be spread out and have the ability to do our thing, and then meet when we need to meet and do all
that. We did something new this year with this remote stuff, where Hannah organized all the reviewers, the people that volunteer, plus us programmers, and just went through every film, up, thumbs down, hold, maybe. And it sounded in theory like it was going to be a lot of work, but it actually sped up how we process through that whole picking and choosing process. So I thought it was really good idea.
Well, wait, so what are you saying? You have a screening committee,
right?
Which does a lot of the filtering, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll make recommendations, and then of course you probably get, maybe you reach out to some people. I'm guessing. for some films.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Every film that kind of comes into our realm gets watched twice. It gets watched by us, by a screening committee member, and then it gets every every other month we'll meet all together via Zoom, and we'll just go through our list from top to bottom, and we'll, this has 2 thumbs up. Is there any reason not to kind of move it on to the next round of considerations? No one says anything, it gets a thumbs up in our system. If it's kind of a mixed review, we talk it out, and what are the merits of it, what are the detractions from it, does it need another look, does it need is there a certain person that should be the person to give it another look? We kind of discuss all of that, and then we can't make a decision at that meeting. I make a list, and one of us will usually take a look at it, and that's kind of our process as we kind of move films into a kind of the next level, and then kind of that next stage is the 4 of us really sit down and hash things out about the films.
So a filmmaker can feel pretty good then if their film is selected, because it's gone through quite a vetting.
Yes, kind of like John was saying, is we really do try to keep everybody, we want to give everybody the same treatment that submits to our festivals, so every film gets the same consideration, and I think it's not the right way or wrong way to do it. It's just kind of how we prefer to do it.
Years ago, we had a panel of programmers at Woods Hole, and there were, 3 or 4 of us that also worked at other festivals. And on the way down to the meeting place, we were like, who's going to want to come hear our talk? Because who cares about programming? And we probably had 30 filmmakers show up.
Right. Well, filmmakers is the answer. Yeah.
They were so curious about our process, and were convinced that nobody watched their films. And, they just went from the opening the envelope to in the trash can. And we were.
Oops. Did she freeze up here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Who can intuit what she was going to finish saying? I think that, filmmakers, well, many of them are actually programmers. Sorry, we missed some of what you said, Jane. Oh, well, a lot of, I would imagine filmmakers have a deep interest in knowing what goes into programming, and many have been programmers or, had some experience programming or being on screening committees just by, the nature of wearing a lot of hats. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she must be.
And that's one of the things we, and as part of like the Film Festival Alliance, that we've really tried to do over the past few years is sort of demystify the process for filmmakers, because I think there are a lot of assumptions on how festivals work. Festivals assume a lot of things about filmmakers too, and just to sort of create a more open dialogue between the two.
Transparency.
One, because we're all in the same ecosystem and we all rely on each other.
Right.
It's not a competitive thing. We're all helping each other out. But then, we also, a lot of festivals do invite alumni filmmakers to become programmers, and one, because we love their work, but also two, it kind of helps with that process too. As filmmakers get more involved in the festival world, they really do understand how we do it and why we do it, and it starts to make sense, and starts to hopefully keep people from worrying about what's going to happen with the work that they've put so much time and effort into when they do submit it to a festival.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Jane.
Thank you.
We got the gist of what you were saying. I think was that we were talking about transparency with programming and how that I think benefits everybody in the ecosystem of filmmakers and film programmers and other industries types. Yeah.
Exactly right. So it was good to have that session to dispel some mythology about the selection process.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Well, Woods Hole seems like a great festival for filmmakers, if they're not aware of it, to take advantage of this upcoming festival starting on July 31st, and check out your festival, because, like, in 30 years is quite a track record anyway. Speaks for itself, So and you got and you can go to the Woods Hill Film Festival or Woods Hill Film website and check out the full slate for this year. And there's evidence right there of some wonderful programming. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I don't know, I know you also have workshops and other types of events that go on throughout the week. But did we kind of touch on most everything, or did I leave anything? Is there anything that should definitely be mentioned that I left out? Okay.
I think it was great.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. I'm so excited. Thank you for, we have representation in Fargo, right? In Cape Cod, in Norway, and in Durango, Colorado, if I remember.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I really appreciate everybody coming together. What a success this turned out to be. And I'm, of course, upstate New York.
Oh, perfect. We got all realms of the world covered.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And I'll be enjoying it, at least virtually, if not, maybe if I can get myself up to Cape Cod in a couple weeks, I will definitely come.
Of course.
But it was nice making everybody's acquaintance.
Yes, it was wonderful meeting you.
Thank you. Same here. And I good luck with the festival.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. We'll see you
Bye.
later.